Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live. Now, I'm your host, Jeff Marconette Jr., the award-winning international Make Every Second Count speaker. Now, here on Make Every Second Count Live, we try to help people that are dealing with their kind of stuff because I know that everybody on social media seems to be perfect and have it all together, and I want to show you that everybody, no matter what they do, no matter who they are, they go through things just the same as you, just the same as anybody else out there. So we like to have more of a conversation instead of a presentation. So feel free to ask as many questions as you would like. And don't forget to give us likes, give us thumbs up, give us hearts, give us friendly faces. Heck, you can even stick your finger out or stick your tongue out at us if you want to. I don't really mind. If you are watching live, please tell us where you're watching from. I'd be happy to give you a shout out. Thanks again for watching. Please share this video out with all kinds of friends and let them know that they're missing one of the best shows on Tuesday night. All right, so I would like to bring up my guest now. His name is Josh. He is known as the Identity Architect. So we'll find out what that's all about. Hey, Josh.
Hey,
Thank
hey
you
Jeff.
so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor to be able to share with your audience.
Well, I appreciate that. So if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Awesome, absolutely. So yes, you got it right. I'm the identity archaeologist, and
Oh,
what that
archaeologist. I
it's
said
close enough.
architect.
So what that means is I have the honor to work with talented solopreneurs and basically help them shine above the noise of all their competition and get out of the grind of sales, get into the flow of connection, start building relationships in business. So I do that through personal branding. I help them discover, articulate, and monetize their authentic personal brand. And it's one of the greatest things. It's just exactly where I want to be. Background wise, I'm a corporate America geek. I'm a nerd. I grew up as a soldier, believe it or not. I grew up as a soldier. I was the good soldier. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I did every single thing I was told to do. I was just that robot. I was the so I went to school. I got the grades. I don't know about good grades, but I got grades. Uh, Multiple degrees. I got the safe, secure job as an engineer, a shy, negative, skeptical, introverted engineer in corporate America. I spent 20 years doing that. And then one day, everything I thought was right wasn't right. I had to get out. I had to escape. And I did. And I got into entrepreneurship. And here we are about 6 years later now. And I'm finally fulfilling my purpose in life. And it's been quite a journey for sure.
That is amazing. So what is like the number one thing that led you to becoming an entrepreneur? What is it? What is it that drew you to that?
And that's interesting question. So here I am thinking I have it all figured out, right? And anyone out there that's been in corporate America climbing the ladder, I was actually successful. I was getting promoted. My salary was going up. I thought I had it made. And then one day, a friend of mine asked me about my 401k, which is my retirement plan. Because when you're in corporate America, you just want to go work really hard for 30, 40, 50 years and then retire and enjoy life. So the 401k was like my religion. I believed in this thing. I was like, man, I'm just going to work real hard. And then one day I got it made. And he said, do the math. And I said, what do you mean do the math? Of course it's going to work. Everyone else has it. Everyone's doing it. I did the math on my 401k and realized max funding it, best case scenario, it wasn't going to work. And I was like, wait a minute. What do you mean it's not going to work? So you can imagine I was pretty mad. I was just mad. I'm max funding this thing. I'm stuffing thousands of dollars into this plan, and then I find out it wasn't going to work. But here's what pissed me off, and this is really, really important. What pissed me off is when I found out it wasn't supposed to work by design, and I wasn't supposed to know that until it was too late. That sent me off the edge. I was like, wait a minute, if I got lied to about this, what else don't I know? What else don't I know about life, about health, about careers? And I started opening up all the cabinet doors. I started to get into personal development. I started digging deep. And as they say, once you start seeing the matrix, you can't not see it anymore. You can't sit in that cubicle, that gray jail cell I was in for the next 30 years. So I had to get out. I had to do something.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for telling us, Josh. So I would like to say hi to Nita Bashir, who's watching us from Oklahoma tonight. Hi to my dad, who's watching us from across the street right now.
Nice.
Hi to Brenda Ringwood, who's watching us from Kansas, I believe, and Adesh, all right, Kaladine. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I apologize, man, but thank you for watching with us. And Brenda is from Kansas. So we thank you guys so much. We're here with Josh. How do you say your last name again, Josh? I'm sorry.
I say Zepess, but I'm not sure that's right. That's just how I say it. I can't tell you if that's correct or not, though.
Geez, you don't know if you're pronouncing your own name right?
No, I didn't come up with the name, so I can't tell you that it's actually the right pronunciation.
I don't know. In Italian, it might be like Zepess.
Oh, Zepess, say, or something.
Zepess.
Yeah. That's usually how people pronounce it anyways, so it's okay.
Well, that's very awesome. And thank you again for being here tonight. I'm very honored to have you on here. But I know here on this show, we like to help other people deal with the things they're dealing with. And people often don't realize that everybody goes through things. And I want to show them that even the successful people are going through things at certain times. They just choose not to talk about those things. So if you would like to, Josh, can you please reveal one thing you have been through in your life?
Yeah, so I'll just share kind of when I got out of corporate America, right? Because in corporate America, I had it made. I really knew what I was doing. I kind of built my career up. And then the moment I got out, I'm like, I'm smart. I'm an engineer. I could figure this out. Nope. I literally, I remember the day I left. I was like, I'm free. But actually what happened was I was free falling. Everything I thought I knew about life and about success and business did not apply to entrepreneurship. So I kind of fell flat for several years. It was like, what's wrong with me? Why? I'm not making the money I know I should be able to make. I'm not having the success I expected. I had far more failures than successes, even up to now. And I think that's one of the keys is failure is part of success. If you're not failing, you're not going to succeed. And I didn't know that. Because see, corporate America tells you one thing. Corporate America tells you, don't fail, right? School tells you, don't fail. Getting an F is bad. But let me tell you something. Failure is the only way to succeed. You've got to go through you got to be bad before you're good. And I didn't know that. And that kept me trapped for years until about a couple years ago, I figured out how to, I started really digging into my mindset and learning some of the principles of the universe, of life, of success, and started applying that. So, but anyways, that was one of the big struggles.
So what you are saying is mindset is a key to things, right? What is the number one way that you discovered that? I mean, did you read something or listen to something, and what difference did that make?
It's huge. I remember, so when I was 29 years old, I remember the first personal development book I ever read, and it changed my life. It was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And when I saw the circle of control and the circle of concern, meaning the circle of control is all the things you control, the circle of concern you care about, but you can't control those things. But what you can control is your attitude towards them.
Yes.
Exactly. The moment I saw that and I realized, wait a minute, I'm in control of everything in my life, that opened up all the doors. That was just one of the first, that was the seed that got planted. And I think that's the thing. Our inner world creates our outer world. Whatever you truly feel like you deserve in life is what you end up getting eventually, long term.
I like that. Our inner world is what determines our outer world. I think somebody should be writing that down in the comments, and I would, but I kind of can't now. So, but so I appreciate hearing quotes like that. Who said that one? Do you know? Or
you don't know. That is definitely something I've probably read. I've read hundreds of personal development books. I'm a fanatic. I'm a junkie when it comes to personal development, constantly trying to find the latest and greatest. And so I'm not even sure who said that anymore. I've had a lot of good mentors in my life. So I've been very blessed to have some people that, when you're down, you need someone who sees more potential in you than you see for yourself. We all need that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I have definitely noticed on this show, that like everybody, they all tell me, well, which I happen to know, but your circle of influence, the people around you, the people that support you are so important to your success, are so important to your happiness, are so important to just your life in general. So I'm telling people, pay attention to who you have around you. If they're going to lift you up, keep them around you. If they're going to pull you down, if they're going to hamper your success, get rid of them. Say, get off my shoulder.
Yes.
Brush them away. So, what was the toughest thing about being an entrepreneur?
So it goes to what you just said. So I agree with you. Associations are everything. You always want to have uplifting people. I found a different way to fuel myself, let's call it. So what you're talking about are cheerleaders, right, Jeff? You're talking about people that support you, that want you to do well. We need people like that. I call those yay sayers. They're like, yay, you can do it.
Yay!
Now, I love those folks. But on the other side of the coin, we have people called naysayers. The people that want to tear you down, that don't think you can do it. I had a lot of those people. That was probably the toughest thing in entrepreneurship, was having people that didn't believe in you. However, I was able to flip the script. Those people were my tackling fuel. I used the naysayers, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to succeed one day, no matter what, because I'm never going to let the naysayers say I told you so. Yeah. I'm never going to give them the satisfaction. So they became my motivation. Yes. Instead of tearing me down. And that's it's a mindset. It's a different perspective.
That is awesome. So if you could design a person's mindset, if you could make it in your ideal image, what would you say that mindset would need?
Ooh, this is a great question. So one of the first things a mindset needs is something called mental toughness. And mental toughness, I would say that's basically, so I'll share something really interesting about myself, which people don't always understand. I haven't been offended in about 16 years by anyone, by anything. I don't get offended. I don't get angry at people. I get angry at like my phone and inanimate objects, but people, I have all the patience in the world. So with mental toughness, nothing can stop you. The other thing you need is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to be your own boss. Because in entrepreneurship, you don't have a boss telling you every little thing to do. You are the boss. And boy, let me tell you, that is tough. That is tough, because we're the first ones to let ourselves down, aren't we? Like when we don't want to go to the gym, we're like the first one to say, don't worry, Josh, you can just go tomorrow. We always always let ourselves down. So having the self-discipline that you need. And then the third thing I would say is positivity. You have to expect success, because if you whatever you expect, whatever you think about, you bring about. Okay? So you have to expect success if you want to have a chance to achieve success.
That's very true. It's like Jim Rohn always says, where you put energy, it's going to grow.
That's
and
right.
what you put out there is coming back to you. So if you put out there negative emotions, that's what you're going to get back. If you put out emotions of failure, that's what you're going to get back. And it's so true, and a lot of people don't realize that.
That's
So
right.
I really appreciate your mindset.
Thank you. Yes, it's taken a long time to develop. So, by the way, mindsets don't change overnight. I had 37 years of conditioning of people telling me I can't do this and don't worry about it and keep your head down and shy away. And it takes time to undo that, let's say, right? Undo that mindset.
All right. So, is there anything else that you have been through in your life?
That was probably, so getting into entrepreneurship was probably one of the toughest. Yeah, that was probably the biggest life change, because up to that point, honestly, I was like a zombie. I was just in that rat race, just numb. I was numb to everything. So once I started feeling feelings, I started feeling pain of rejection and all the failures. That was really the biggest thing that I've had to go through. And I've done other things. I do sports, and I fly airplanes, and I try to do all these things that just kind of push me to the edge and give me different perspectives.
Wow.
Um,
How did you deal with the emotions of rejection? Because I know that there are a lot of people out there that suffer with rejection, and they just don't take that very well at all.
Now you're right. Yeah, and that was one of the toughest things. Is as an introvert, we kind of take that and we internalize it. We think people are rejecting us, and then what I had to find out, what I had to realize is people aren't rejecting us. They're rejecting what they think we're saying. So if we could separate those two, we're not getting rejected. When we ask someone to buy our product or service or introduce our business, they're not saying no to us. They're actually just saying no to what they think we're saying. So we have to not take this stuff personal, because, and that's the mental toughness piece I was talking about. Having that mental toughness to say, I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm providing a good service. I'm a good person. I have good intentions. Taking a stand. When you take a stand and you know why you get out of bed every morning, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what their opinion is, right? What other people think about me is none of my business. And when you get that mindset, you're off to the races. Then rejection is nowhere near as painful, and you can push forward towards a worthwhile mission.
That is great. Now, I know you were talking about mental toughness, and that is one of my things. I like to help people develop mental toughness, but I generally refer to that as a foundation to life. Now, I've written a book. It's called Make Every Second Count, a 1,500-hour journal. Now, it is originally intended for school students 11 through 19 years of age. But since then, I have learned that it will work for anyone. It teaches them all about living life with perspective. So situations aren't so bad if they know that there's worse out there. And it shows them that they need to be grateful, they need to live with some gratitude, and develop long-term goals in life. So I think it's a pretty awesome book. Now, you guys can get the first chapter of that book for free at my website, and you can see that up on the screen right there. but it is www.jeff, Jeff, Marconette, Marconette, Jr, JR.com/journal. And all you have to do is enter a little bit of information, and you can download the first 7 days for absolutely free. And
It's a
that is
good deal.
my gift to you guys. So I hope you are really taking something away from this episode, because this guy is powerful. Again, we're here with Josh, and he is known as the Identity Archaeologist, and he's pretty awesome. He's lived through the rat race of corporate America and became an entrepreneur and realized that mindset was so important to everything in life. And he tries to help people through that now. So, is there any tips that you have for other people that are dealing with something that can't seem to get over it? How can they deal with the things you dealt with, or the things they're dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me put it in terms of a sports analogy, because one of the sports I do is called obstacle course racing, Spartan racing. So I do these 13-mile obstacle courses, and people ask, like, how do you do that? Because isn't it tough? You're getting muddied and bloodied and all cut up, and it's isn't it exhausting? How do you do it? And I said, here's my secret. So I'm going to share with everyone my secret to finishing a Spartan race, which you can apply to anything in life, business or life. First thing I do when I show up to the race, to the course, I go to the finish line. I look at the finish line. I make sure it's there. Sometimes I'll touch it. I'll be like, okay, is this real? Okay, there's a finish line. Halfway through the race, I'm tired, I'm cut up, I'm bloodied, muddied, I'm just not in a good mood. And guess what? I think, you know what, Josh? As long as you don't quit, as long as you keep going, there's a finish line. There's an end. You're not going to have to suffer forever. The reason I think people quit on themselves and suffer and don't get the reward from all the pain that they're going through is because they forget to visualize the finish line. They forget that there is a finish line, or they don't know where that finish line is. So the first thing always, before you do anything, know where the finish line is. Know where the finish line is in your life. What is your legacy? Why are you here? What is your purpose? Find that. Once you have that, it's a lot easier to build the mental toughness to start and never quit, because that's my secret to life. Start, never quit. 3 words. It's tattooed on my arm, actually right here in Latin. Quipe nunquam cesseris. Start, never quit.
That is great. Now, I generally like to say that this thing that we're doing right now, living, is a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a 40-yard dash. And you guys have to learn to take one day at a time. Not be so far in the future, but not be in the past. Look at what is going on right now, because this moment is the only one that truly matters. That your heart is beating right now. It might not be in 3 seconds from now, but right now it's beating. That's pretty darn amazing. So I have to say that each and every person out there that is watching with us is amazing. They're each a miracle. And as long as their heart is beating, they're amazing.
Yes.
They can go through everything in life. They can do all kinds of things that are bad, are evil. But I still think they're amazing. They're just off on the wrong detour, and they just need to come back and figure out that they can live a great life. They can be happy. They can be joyful, and it's not that hard. If my first principle to make every second count is that it's amazing to be alive. It's called Oh man, now I forget it. I just renamed the chapter because I thought this fit better, but I forget it now. But it's all about celebrating being alive.
Yes.
And I just want people out there to know that whatever they're going through, keep going. I promise it's not going to get worse. And if it does get worse, guess what? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to find a way out. You might have to research it. You might have to talk to people. You might have to examine your circle of people, but there is a way out.
And ask for help. If you don't know what to do, there's people out there. Here's what I know about truly successful, not rich people per se, but wealthy people that just have a wealth of abundance. They love helping. Like, I know anyone can reach out to you, Jeff, and ask for help, and you would just help them. It's not a business thing. It's not like you got to pay. No, it's just, I want to help people. I'm the same way.
Yes, I'm here for people. It doesn't matter what, as long as I can help them, I'm going to help them. It's not a question of why or how, but when. So
Exactly.
I again, I thank you, Josh, because that was pretty awesome. So I have to ask, is there any contact information you would like to give out?
Absolutely. The easiest way to find me is on my website or social media. It's the same, joshzepess.com. So JOSHZEPESS.com. And if there are any solopreneurs listening that would like help for free, just to start understanding branding and start understanding how to build conversations, there's a form right on the homepage. Sign up for a free 30-minute session. I'm happy to sit down. No sales thing. It's just purely me helping you define your new business asset, your brand.
That's amazing, guys. Take advantage of this stuff. When people give out free things on this show and nobody shows up, I'm like, what the heck? But people don't see the value in free. So what's the easiest way you would say to have somebody see the value in free?
Boy, that's a really, really good question. The best way to see the value, well, the way I approach it is I'm going to give them something so valuable for free that it's just natural that they'd want to take the next step in a way. So yeah, free's a tough one because people don't always appreciate what they get for free, right? There's that's so I think there should always be a transfer of value. So if you give something, then you get something in return because it's a balance of the universe. And so sometimes giving is just giving. Sometimes you don't get anything in return right away. Sometimes it takes time. It's almost like sowing seeds, and that's how I look at it. It's a farmer's mentality. If I give all these seeds away and I plant them, I'm not going to get a return right away necessarily. It might take a couple of years for the harvest, but the harvest will come. So that's the mindset you have to have.
I was listening to a book on audio, and the book is called Unstuck Yourself or something. I'm not sure. It might be more colorful language than that.
I think so. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's cool. One of the quotes that he says in it is accept everything and expect nothing. So
yeah,
that's kind of like what you just said.
Yeah, I'll give you a little secret. I don't always share this because sometimes people take it the wrong way, but I always say raise what you expect of yourself and lower what you expect of anyone else internally, just on the inside. Don't expect everyone to meet your standards. Otherwise, you're going to be very, very disappointed.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing. So I just want to say thank you again.
Absolutely.
I know you're busy and you took the time out of your night to be here with me and my viewers. So I appreciate that. But I need everybody out there, including you, Josh, to do me a favor. I need
Yes.
you to make every second count. Why, you might ask? Because you never know when the seconds are going to run out on your one life. Hey, make sure you join us back here next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we help you get through what you're dealing with in life. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic night.
Yes. Thank you.